guys, it's Aisha-Iman. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it is officially autumn. I haven't really done any autumnal content, so this is my first start. But I love autumn. Autumn is one of my favorite of the season, even though I'm a winter baby. In another life, I was born on Halloween, but I love autumn. I loved Halloween growing up. Me and my mom used to watch Halloween Town on Disney Channel, and autumn was the only time my mom would actually be okay with me watching Disney Channel, because we used to get to watch all the autumn Halloween films. She used to love Twitches as well. In this video, I'm going to be sharing all my full faves from TV shows, my autumn rewatches, my favorite books as well, and just like a multimedia full faves, because obviously I'm a fan of books, TV, film, show, just pop culture in general. So I thought I'd be sharing all my little full faves with you guys. I haven't been active in a while and I'm so sorry. I've been a bit poorly and I've just been sick, and this is a variation of things, but I'm back better than ever. And let's get into the video. So I have some water, because if you don't know me or you're new to my channel, I am a yapper. So we got a Danley, because this is what we call it, Danley, because it's a dupe of a Stanley. Let's start off with TV shows. So the first one on my list is Pretty Little Liars. I started watching Pretty Little Liars when I was in year 7, so I've been watching it for a while, almost over a decade, and I love the show. It's very like murder, whodunit, and I love murder mysteries, and it's my favorite kind of genre when it comes up to normal shows. And Pretty Little Liars is just the most iconic show from the early 2000s going into the late 2010s. It's very popular, everyone was watching it. I didn't watch it when it was obviously frequent and it started, because I was literally a child, so there was no chance that I was going to be allowed to watch this, but I was allowed to watch Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. I can't believe they cancelled that show. That show was so good. I love the storyline of like sins of the mother goes on to the daughter, and that whole storyline. I love that we got to see a little bit of their mums in the 2000s and then seeing their daughters in the 2020s, and it's just like, it looks so cutesy. And both Pretty Little Liars Original Sin and also Summer School, I like the new plots, but after Summer School they cancelled the show, which I was like, why would you do that? My third is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I started watching the show when it originally came out, and that was in 2018. On Netflix it was a 15 at one point, and then it was a 12, and then it went to being a 15, and my mom let me. That was the only show that was a 15 at the time. That and Riverdale were the only two shows my mom actually let me watch while I was in early stages of secondary school, because I love it. It's based off this girl called Sabrina Spellman and her life as a half witch and half mortal, and her chaos and everything that came along the way. And the fun fact, chaos is the actual abbreviation of the show, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Chaos. It's perfect fit, but it's also autonomous because it has witches, it has some spookiness, it got some different kind of genres, like it's a mixture of all, and it has a Christmas episode. Okay, next one, obviously the Vampire Diaries. This is like anything new. Vampire Diaries I started watching when I was 12 in year 7. First time I watched it I didn't really get the plot, then I watched it a little back into autumn months, like later in that year when I was in year 8, and I was like, oh, this show's good, this show's bopping, and I started watching it and I fell in love with it, and I've never stopped rewatching it since then. Like the witches and all these new mystical beings that it's always introduced each every season, and I like the storyline and how it expanded into like little universe of Vampire Diaries original, the legacies. I just love it. My next watch is Goosebumps, which is on Disney Plus, which is by R.L. Stein. I love Goosebumps. There's a new Goosebumps like that's more like teenage and it aims like a 15 or a 12, and it's on Disney Plus. I love the first season and the second season. I watched the second season this summer, and I grew up reading some of the books. My favorite book that I read of his was The Boy That Screamed Wolf. I loved that book. Obviously Wednesday it doesn't need any introduction. The second season just came out, I think by now. The seeing this like 3 weeks ago, but I love it. It's amazing. Need I say more? Vampire Academy, but the TV series that came out in 2022, because I think, okay, with Vampire Academy is a book that was really like the early 2010s, but I feel like because of the target audience that was initially made for the book, they have all grown up, but at the same time those people that would have been engaging with it aren't going to engage with it now. So I found out about Vampire Academy when I watched the 2014 version. Then I read all the books when I was in 11, 12, year 13. Like I read it, all of them around that time period. And then I got into it. Like my favorite character, like I love Rose. Obviously it's from her point of view. I wish that show did get a season 2. It was directed by the same person that made Vampire Academy. That's what made me want to watch the show in the first place. Let's get into films now. So my top is Beetlejuice 1 and 2. In 2020 I was obsessed with the musical. I used to listen to the musical over and over and over again. And to visit my bio dad, that was a song I used to listen to a lot. I was going in the car. The whole playlist is like the length of a drive to Bristol. I think they're playing it 2 times. I watched the first one, like I think like 2021, 2022. And then I watched the second one that came out in 2024. I watched it in cinema, which wore a Beetlejuice themed outfit to the cinema. And I loved it. It was really good. I liked the whole storyline of Lydia Dietz just like being like a unique teenager, and she just like I don't know how to explain it, but I just love it. I love Beetlejuice, I love his humor and just like everything in between. My second one is Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is that came out in 2023, I want to say. Yeah, 2023. It came out in autumn and I watched that in cinema as well. This film is basically follows the story of Mike, who is a security guard, and he lost his job at the mall, so he moved to a security guard job at Freddy's Pizzeria, which is like this pizzeria that was a really cool big hit in the 80s, and then it started to go down because of certain incidents that happened around the pizzeria, and his job is to look after the pizzeria and make sure no one gets in. And there's like animatronics, and it's basically based, some people said that's based on Chuck E. Cheese, and it's basically following that storyline, and basically he looks after his little sister and his parents has passed on, so like a variation of things. But it follows the story of the game Five Nights at Freddy's. I played the game when I was young on like a computer, when I was in like, I think I had to go to secondary school, but that thing scared me. It's creepy too. I was like, I did not like playing Five Nights at Freddy's, but I really loved the movie, and it's on Netflix now. Rewatching. I think I've watched either 15 to 20 times since it's come out, because if I finish it, I play it again and again and again, and I played it for a whole day, and the movie's 2 hours. So the third is the Fear Street franchise, which is Fear Street 1, 1994, then 79, then 1666, and now we have Prom Queen. I did a reaction video, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave in the eye there. But Fear Street basically is like the legend of Sarah, who was someone that was like explained to be a witch, but it basically follows that storyline, and one of the like a couple of teenagers getting into some trouble because their friends have been like touched or like they've been Sarah Fear visioned the person who like possesses these shady siders with like kind of thing that makes them go on a killing spree. They like after the person that has seen who Sarah Fear was, because she wasn't a witch, she was actually just a regular normal person, but she rejected someone and that made him quite spiteful. But Fear Street Prom Queen follows the storyline of a young girl who's a shady sider. They're all shady siders, but they're all like, some of them are like from like classes, and like just follows the journey of like someone goes on a murder spree to kill all the prom queens, and one of the prom queen candidates ended up being one of the murderers. So it's just like that kind of storyline. Another one is Coraline. I love Coraline. I love Coraline since I was years old, because I remember going to see it in cinema with my mom, and it was one of my favorite movies. It's always remained to be one of my favorite movies. I remember seeing it in cinema the first time. I loved it. I always came back to rewatch it, and it's one of my favorite autumn rewatches. It's just something that I've always watched. Even though I'm 20, I still love Coraline. I know it's the plot, it will never change. It will always be the same. So yeah, also based off a book, and it has like exactly this. When I was doing research for the film back when I was second year, because we had to do like, oh my days, this was like we had to do like essay about stop motion animation and people who've done it, and Coraline was one of the examples, and then we had to make a stop motion of our own. I hated that because like drawing skills is like subpar at best. So yeah. Next one is the Twilight franchise. I don't think that needs an introduction. Twilight, powerful, I'm down for it. How many papers? In the last, like, since I was in Staunton now, I've written 4 papers surrounding Twilight. Twilight is just like something that's always been there in my childhood, because my mum and my aunt used to be obsessed with it when I was younger, and they always used to rewatch it, but sometimes they would like stop at certain parts that I couldn't see it. But I have seen like small parts of a clips and small parts of like as a child, and I didn't fully proper watch it until I was in year 12. No, year 12. Whoa, pause. I didn't start watching it properly until I got into year 8 in 2017, because in 2017 Twilight was brought onto Netflix, and I rewatched it. And it used to be on Disney Plus last year, but they removed it too, and now it's on Prime Video. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy every single one. But the only one I don't have, that I haven't bought, is Eclipse, and I probably will buy that sometime in the future. But I love it. You can't go wrong with Twilight, because you know the songs are just very autonomous. Obviously, Vampire Academy, I've already spoken about this. This is the 2014 version. In my self-care vlog, I I was watching Vampire Academy follows 2 girls, and it's based, obviously you see some very recognizable faces. Girl from Mako Mermaids in this there, the guy from Shadowhunters, Ian Shameless, so like girl from Geek Charming and Modern Family, she's in there. There's actually recognizable faces, but I really enjoyed this movie, and it's like very boppy and like of the time that it was like made. Other like 20s movie I like is Alice in Wonderland. The first time I watched Alice in Wonderland, I remember this vividly. My bio dad, he put view on a pirate cinema, and he put Alice in Wonderland on there for me, and I watched it. And then I had of prawn cocktail crisps, and then I went to get another crisp, because back in the day, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but like in the early 2010s, they used to have like a bag of crisp of Walkers, and they used to taste like Worcestershire sauce, and I tried it and it was absolutely disgusting. So I hate Worcestershire sauce. I never tried Worcestershire sauce until then, but it's like, it's not something that I'm gonna go walk up to Tesco and say, oh, you're gonna buy that. Like, it's just not it for me personally. But I love this movie, and yeah, Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton's version, is like the Alice in Wonderland I've ever watched. I never watched the 50s version growing up, because I didn't watch it. I don't know why I didn't watch it. I watched it recently, but I didn't really like it. I just grew up with the Alice in Wonderland 2010s version, and then I watched the second movie in cinema with my mum. I remember that we went to the View to see it, and then like another like 2 more like kind of Tim Burton movies I've watched while I was a child, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I think, no, that's the one I was trying to speak about, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It basically follows this boy called Jake, and his grandfather Abe. Abe has a peculiarity that makes him see these little like the dorky kind of things, and the peculiarities like can turn into these things, but they, after like some bad experiments, they basically, to make them go back to being human, they have to take the eyes of peculiar children. So that's where Abe is the conversation, because when Abe gets killed and his eyes were taken out, and then Jack goes to, I think it's Wales, to go and see where his grandfather was raised, and he was in the early between 1920s and 1930s, and it was in World War, and the loop is September 3rd, and they just follow that journey. But in the books, it's like variation different things, like they changed these between 2 of the girls. Emma actually had the fire peculiarity, and the other girl, I forgot her name, had the air peculiarity. But this show, after I remember seeing it in the movie when I think either year 6 or year 7. I really loved it, but those demon things gave me nightmares. I don't care if I was like over 10, I still got nightmares, but it wasn't like to the point that I was seeing them in my house. No, it just like woke me up with sweats, and I did not like those things, because I was like, I got very scared. But after that, I bought the books and I started reading the series, and I really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I forgot the two other favourite Tim Burton's is The Nightmare Before Christmas and The Corpse Bride. The Corpse Bride turns 20 this year, and Nightmare Before Christmas, the first time I watched Nightmare Before Christmas was in 2012. My mum came back home from out with my aunt. I think it was her birthday the previous night. No, they went out to like the cinema. I stayed home at my granddad's, and then my mom came back with like things from M&M, like a pack of like autumn set, and I had like different kind of like Halloween M&Ms, and then I got my green cup that broke. I was the only one between me, my mom and my aunt that kept their cup for the longest, because my cup broke in like 2019, my mom in the 20s. My mom's broke in like the late 20s, and then my aunt's broke like in the mid of the 2010s. So I had mine the longest and my mom broke mine. But I digress. It happened in the past, there's nothing we can do about it. But would I get another M&M's cup that's green? Yes, I love green. But The Corpse Before Christmas I watched on DVD. My mum bought me the DVD after she went to M&M World. M&M, no, what am I saying M&M World? The M&M store. I haven't been to the M&M store in ages. Like, it's like you can just casually go to, but it's nothing you can go to frequently. Because like if you go frequently, obviously you're gonna get cavities. But I go in that area a lot and I haven't been there. But I think I may go there in the future. I don't know, but I would love to get a new Miss Green cup because yeah. I love the movie. I love the fact that like the skeleton wanted to be wanted to be in the Christmas kind of vibe, and I just love that movie. But then yeah, I love it. And then The Corpse Bride is like it follows the story of these two young people and their experiences getting married in an arranged marriage. Like then he kind of practice on like getting married, and he ends up proposing to someone who's dead, and she comes back to life and she takes him to the underground of like just basically and things of her previous life, like when she was exposed, and like certain things happened while before she passed away was exposed, and just a variation of things. And I love it. It's my favorite movie, and yeah, that's like one of my favorite autumn watches. Let's get into my favorite topic, books. So the first thing I would say that matches autumn and my favorite read is the Imperium series by Rebecca Yarros. It follows the girl, young woman, Violet, and her journey through the sky of like War College, and it's basically a university where you get to ride dragons. And she falls in love with Zayden, and Did I Say More is about dragons. And I first read this book when it initially came out on Audible, and I fell in love with it. Liam's death got me so hard. I was crying on public transport, and someone asked me if I was okay, and I just had to say it's just something happened in my book that was really. And the woman looked at me like I was like, well, respectfully, I was crying on public transport because of a fictional character. That's the main reason certain books like this one I can't listen to in public, because sometimes it's weird when you listen to an audiobook and you're looking at the floor and smiling. I may know it's about the book, but Sally in front of me don't know, Tom in front of me don't know, they don't know what I'm listening to. I can just be smiling just because of smiling's sake. But I don't listen to her books in public. I listen to them in the comfort of my home, knowing that I can be safe and my reactions can be safe with me. But I did get Fourth Wing as a physical copy I got it in May. But I haven't read it physically yet. I was saving it for this time period. But my second read is the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. Need I say more? The series is based in Devil's Night, which means it's literally based in October. And my favorite, I love Devil's Night. I've made 2 book talk audio, that's not 2, that's 4. I made 2 book talk audios to Devil's Night. One of them went really viral for me personally. It hit 53k in less than 2 weeks. But it still grows. Like every now and then I get a like and I'm like, oh, it's from the Devil's Night video. But the one that I really wanted to go viral that didn't, it just had a couple hundred views. Excuse me. Every fandom, if it's God of Legacy series, The Hollow Boys, and Devil's Night, and Royal Academy. Not Royal Academy, well, Royal Elite. All of those books have in common, they're all dark romances, but the main thing, song that goes with those books, and by, I think it's Cassie, and I want to say Walk of Fame, may not be right. I love Devil's Night, and I had the opportunity to meet Penelope Douglas in this summer in White City, and it was really cool, and I did vlog it, so if you want to check the eye here. I love Devil's Night, and I like to read it in autumn because it makes more sense to, because you can read in it in the time that's supposed to be, because it's autumn based. Well, it's not autumn based, but some parts do happen in autumn. I feel like this safe to say the book starts in summer and then ends in fall, because sometimes the devil does come up to appear in some way. Then my third book I'd say is Nightshade by Autumn Woods, which basically follows whodunit, a romance, slow burn, he falls fast and harder, and what else? They're both grumpy. There's rugby in this as well, in an amazing university in Scotland. So it got all the tea, and it's very dark academia, and it's called Nightshade. I love it. And it also had, it ended in a cliffhanger, and I'm so excited for there is going to be a book 2. Whenever book 2 comes out, I'ma sign up. I'ma sign up for anything. Just I love the book. My fourth book I'd say is Off Campus series by L. Kennedy. This is TV. It's actually becoming into a TV series, so this is your perfect time to start reading it. I like reading it during back to school season because it's like based in university, it's based in college. These books are based in, like, I want to say 2015, in the late 2010s, and it has certain, what's it called, little placements that are more linking to 2015 than now, because no one in this day and age uses Facebook as a social media app that is someone that's under the age of, I want to say, give or take 15. No, I'd say like probably like 25, 27, because I don't know, most people I know don't use Facebook, but I use it for pageantry, but I don't use it for anything else. I don't post on there. It's linked to my pageant account, so if something comes up, it's just linked to my regular posts. I love Off Campus. My favorite couples in my favorite books is The Mistake. In The Mistake, Grace I'm a journalism student, so I was like, oh my days, it's my girl. And I first started reading Off Campus when I was in year 12, and I fell in love with it ever since. And then I started reading more L. Kennedy books after that, and I read Misfit when I was in year 8. I was about to say year 18. When I was 18 years old. Sorry. And I've read a lot of her books, and I really enjoyed the hockey romance of Off Campus, the Briar Diaries. No, not Briar Diaries. Well, the Campus Diaries. I have Gram Effect, and then I have Dixie's Rule. The only one I don't have is the Charlie Method, because I choose romance, and that's not my cup of tea, so I don't read that. My fifth book is Love Hypothesis, and this is by Ali Hazelwood, and this is also going to be coming into a movie on Prime soon, so TBD. So the book basically follows a PhD student, Olive, and she basically wants to reassure her friend who's dating someone that she dated before that she's moved on. So she kissed her professor, but it wasn't actually her professor, it was actually a professor in her field, but he wasn't in her department, if that makes sense. And basically they had like a whole fake dating situation, and there's a variation of things, but she was doing some research program. And I loved the books, and I read the whole Love Theoretically, Love Hypothesis, and then Love on the Brain. I love all three. They're my favorite books. But if I was supposed to pick one out of the three, I'd probably pick Love on the Brain. I love Love on the Brain, but I think the people cringe the most about when she says she wears Galaxy leggings, because that's wearing Galaxy leggings is like very 2016, 2017, and when you read it now, it's like, oh my days, that's so cringe. But respectfully, less than 4 to 6 years ago, some of you man were wearing this, so it's like you can't really be cringing. I never owned Galaxy pants. or leggings. My mum got me jeggings, but my jeggings were like, they look like jeans, so you can never tell they were leggings. The most peculiar patterned leggings I had when I was a kid was leopard print ones. That's the amount of it that I had. 2 other books, and they're both written by Emily McIntyre. And the first book is Hooked, which is basically, they're both dark. I think they're both dark romances. So all of these books are new adult. I should have said that in the beginning. All these books are new adult. If you're under the age of 18, you shouldn't be reading them. Hooked is a retelling of Peter Pan with a romance between Hook and Wendy. And it's just like a different retelling of it. It's in a different way, and she has like a whole series where she does retellings of villains with the heroine, and it's just like a modern day telling. And then this one, Wretched, by again Emily McIntyre, it is basically a storytelling of the Wizard of Oz, and I think it's between Oz and Elphaba, or the Wicked Witch of the West. But it's another retelling in a modern world. With this one, she's in the gang life, and I think they're both in gang life, the 2 books.
We're gonna get out.